Hello everyone and welcome to the first game of CCL04. Today it's going to be the Bottlers CC taking on the West Side Flogs in the North Sydney Oval. Promises to be a high scoring encounter as we see Alex Chisholm, the Chisman, taking on Dean Twistie in this first game, as I did say, of CCL04. The pitch today is hard, it's a little bit grassy, overcast conditions, so it possibly could look like there will be a little bit of swing in the air. Just the 19 degrees, so it's not going to be too hot here for the players. However, as I said, being at North Sydney Oval, it does promise to be a high scoring encounter. The West Side Flogs, they have won the toss. They have chosen to bowl first here. We can already see very short, square, and probably straight down the ground as well, to be fair. So the Bottlers, they are going to be coming out first to bat here with Zane. Obviously, all these players are on debut because this is the first game of the tournament. So he is coming in. Nice wee pink helmet that they've got going on there, the Bottlers. And for some reason or another, once again, warming up with the left-handed shot. And we'll find out in just a second. It's going to be Jason Green, the right-arm fast bowler for the West Side Flogs, that is going to be opening things up here. Bit of a spread field for the Flogs at the moment, which is what you would expect inside these power play overs. And the first ball has been pushed away. What a way to start the tournament. It's gone for 60 metres, and Zane gets us off to an absolute flyer here. Oh, Zane goes down the ground. I don't think he's got a hold of this completely. Fielder's getting there. I think it has. Oh, yes. There we go, 6 big runs. We'll have a look on the replay on that one. Must have only just got there. Little bit of jag off the pitch as well so far here, so that is promising. But this must have just... Whew! To be fair, the fielder has done an absolutely outstanding effort there. I'm not even sure, to be fair, if that was 6. I think he actually managed to get it up and down in time. And then we see a forward defensive, which is quite strange considering the way that Zane has started off here. He's been very aggressive. We see a field change for this last ball of this first over. It's gone for 12 already. We did mention it would potentially be quite high scoring. It's been whipped away onto the leg side. It's going to be a dot ball. That is the first over, done and dusted. The Bottlers, none for 12. And here we see another player on debut, Ross Simmons, obviously creator or one of the creators of the game. We had to have him in the competition. It's going to be Jonty Wicks to come in, and as you can see, the projected total at the moment, if the Bottlers did manage to keep up this run rate, will be 240 runs. And Ross has just started not quite as well as Zane, but he's still managed to pick himself up 4 runs off the first ball that he has faced. Look at that, that has just flown off of the outside edge. Man, oh man, this is why I think Chiz has chosen the North Sydney Oval as his ground of choice. The boundaries are tiny. He's thinking he can get a massive score on the board, and that is the way things are going. 20 runs off of the first 9 deliveries of the tournament, and you'd have to say it's going to just continue to keep going here. The Bottlers do have a decent batting lineup, it must be said, as we've got 2 balls left to go here in the second over. Remember, 20 runs already on the board, so they've got off to an absolute flyer here. And you'd have to think, even with the fielding restrictions removed, that is not going to make a whole lot of difference at this small ground. Oh, this one here is nudged away on the leg side, not timed beautifully, but again, it doesn't have to be here at North Sydney Oval. It will just race away along the deck, and that is what has happened. Zane, I believe, picks up his first 4. He did have 2 sixes in that first over. He's moving along nicely, 16 off 7. Ross down the other end is 8 off 6. And Zane has said, thank you very much, I'll have me some of that. Pick up, I believe, the 3rd 6 of the innings already. He races on to 22 off of just 8 deliveries. Ross down the other end, 8 off of 6. 2.2 overs done. And the Bottlers already have 30 runs on the board. So we're looking at a 200 plus score here, definitely. I think probably anything less than that, they're going to be very disappointed. I think probably around that 220, 230 is probably going to be a bit more of a par score. We've seen another change in the field. There's already been 11 come off this over. Green has been expensive, 1.3 overs, none for 23. He chucks in a short ball there and gets a dot, so we'll be happy about that with just 2 balls left to go in his second over. This one here has been cut away. It's been, I don't want to say it's been cut away well, because the timing just did not seem to be there one little bit. But it has gone down to the boundary at third man for a 4. I believe that is Ross's third 4 of the innings. He now moves on to 12 off of 9. And we have seen the first change in the bowling as well. The medium pacer Joseph coming into the attack now, and possibly slow bowling could be the way to go here. You know, really, I guess, requiring the batsmen to create their own pace. But balls like that, wild down the leg side, are not going to help. Oh, this one here is cut away in the air once again by Zane. He is playing an absolute fabulous knock here today, it must be said. He's 27 off of just 10 deliveries, striking at 270, which is absolute madness, it must be said. 40 runs up now for the Bottlers inside the first 4 overs. They are just absolutely killing it here at the moment. One bounce 4 off the front foot pull to the square leg boundary. Another boundary for Zane. 31 off 11 he is now, and he is just absolutely crushing it to all parts of the ground at the moment. None for 44 is the score. They needed that, the West Side Flogs. They needed a dot, and that's what they've got. Oh, it's taken the edge, and he's got him. That is a huge wicket for the West Side Flogs. Smith with the catch in the keeping position. That is absolutely huge. Zane goes for 31 off of 13 balls, 3 4s, 3 6s. The score now 1 for 44, and it is a very timely wicket, it must be said, for the West Side Flogs. They needed that because Zane was starting to look very dangerous. His strike rate did show that, and he's just managed, I don't know, he's just pushed at it, and he's got himself just a little outside edge. That is now going to bring in Captain Alex Chisholm, or Chisholm. I just call him Chisman. Whatever you want to call him, you can. He is the captain of this Bottlers side, and he's got a very good platform here to come in on. 1 for 44 off of 3.4 overs, and he is just going to look to probably continue on in the form that Zane was, because he was going absolute great guns, it must be said. And that is what you want from, you know, that's what you want from your opening players, especially playing on such a small ground as North Sydney Oval. So I can't imagine it's going to take Chiz too long to get into his work. He's played out 2 dot balls there. After 4, the Bottlers are 1 for 44. Oh, Ross once again goes big, this time over the offside. He's cut it away down to third man. How he can play an umpire at the same time is really beyond me, but he is looking to take that aggressive approach that we did see from Zane earlier on in the innings. He's now 16 off of 10. You'd have to think that he is going to be the guy that is going to try and push this score up inside this batting power play. I mean, we have only seen, I think, the 3 6s. We've seen a lot of 4s, so potentially excuse me, those extra men out on the boundary could prevent quite a few shots. And Chiz is just struggling to get his timing here. He's none off 3. Oh, here we go. He's gone big. I'm not sure if the timing is quite there. In fact, it's only gone 72 metres. Any other, well, I don't want to say any other ground of this competition, because Allan Border Oval, I believe, is Weaver's home ground. But any other ground that is going to fall to your fielder, it's done just enough, and we'll see that here on the replay. Chiz gets off the mark with a 6. All 3 batsmen have got off the mark with a boundary in this game so far. Green was actually bowling a very good over up until then. He'd only gone for the 5 runs, and he has now had one short that's cut away for no run. 5 overs gone, the score now 1 for 55. Oh, but this one here, that, to be fair, is probably as bad as the first ball that we saw from the first over that went down the leg side. This one here was a touch straighter, and Ross has just helped it on its way for a 107 metre 6. That is the biggest 6 we have seen in this tournament. He's moved on to 23 off of 12. Probably going to look to really try and exploit the last over of the power play here are the Bottlers CC to really try and get that score up. Not that it isn't already. I mean, 1 for 62 off of 5.2 overs is a very good knock. Chiz is just going along at the moment, strike rate of 100. He'll be looking to probably try and bat out majority of these 20 overs, it must be said, as he's played that one down the ground for a dot ball. Oh, Chiz has worked this one away here on the leg side. Again, these boundaries are so short. That was just a little chip, a little punch, and it's gone one bounce for 4. He moves on to 10 off of 9 deliveries. We've seen a change in the field for the last ball of this batting power play. It is quite aggressive, looking to probably try and get Chiz, and he just respectfully plays it. He's 10 off 10. The Bottler's going along nicely here at the end of their power play. 1 for 66, run rate of 11, tracking on to get 220 at this stage. And we have also seen another change in the bowling. Jimmy Baker coming on, making his debut. As I said, everyone's making their bloody debut because it's the first time that basically everyone has played. It's going to be the leggy. And we did say potentially that slower bowlers would have a big impact in this game. And he started off well with a dot ball. Alright, so this has been a great over so far by the number 99, Jimmy Baker. He's only gone for the 1 run off of the first 4 deliveries. And that one there, I think, has taken a wee little cheeky outside edge from the Chiz man, not taken by the keeper Smith. It was a very hard chance, it must be said. But still, I guess a dot ball in this form of the game, especially on a ground like this, is absolute gold. It's almost as good as a wicket. That's a great first over by Baker. He's only gone for the 1. Bottler's now 1 for 67 off of 7 overs. And we've got another new player, Kai Simo, coming in, another wrist spinner. So we've got the tandem leggies coming in from each end. And we saw how good Baker was in that last over, just going for the 1 run. And they'll be looking to do the same. A little bit of an outside edge there by Roscoe. He has managed to get it away to the boundary, so that's good because it has dried up a little bit, the runs, as of late. Wasn't the greatest and most convincing of shots, it must be said, but it's allowed him to move on to 29 off of just 18. And you have to think that he probably is the guy that needs to start going. He needs to accelerate, and Chiz is the man who wants to stay and try and bat through, I guess, the 20 overs if he can. Back-to-back boundaries for Ross as well as he moves into the 30s. 33 off of 19, does now have the highest score in the tournament, overtaking that 31 by Zane. And that one there has just been padded away. Smith running around like he's got no idea what he's doing. Headless chicken, and it's going to be a dot ball. To be fair, that was probably always going there. The fielder was half a chance, but it was quite, it was very wide, to be fair. I was going to say it was short, but it was pitched up. It has got the treatment probably that it has deserved. We've seen a change in the field. This is probably more conventional for the leggy here now as well. That shot probably down to third man is the boundary option, unless you want to go aerial, try and take on the field. Expensive first over, this one from Simo. It has gone for 14. He's got 1 ball left to go, and this has got the Bottlers back up above that 10 runs and over. To be fair, a good finish, 2 dot balls after going for that 6. The Bottlers now 1 for 81 off of 8 overs. And another change in the bowling. Now, I got to get this right because this guy sent me a message. So it's Marcello Provenzale. Okay, so I do apologise if I have got that wrong, but the finger spinner now coming on, and he has been treated with a maximum. I think that's actually taken out someone in the crowd with the big falcon, but Chiz gets his second 6 of the match, moves on to 16 off of 13, and Marcel, not the greatest of starts from you, bud. Welcome to the CCL, says Chiz. I've been playing here now for a bit, no, sorry, he's been playing here, I don't know if he took part in Season 1. I'm definitely sure he took part in Season 2 and Season 3. So he is a 3-season veteran now of the league, I guess you would say. 16 off of 14. And Marcelo will be looking to try and peg this back if he can. And he's done that quite well there. It's just going to be the single. Even singles here at North Sydney Oval are like gold. Alright, so last ball here for Marcelo in his first over. He's pegged it back, to be fair, with just the 2 runs off of the last 5 deliveries in the over. He only goes for 8, finishes off with a dot, and I didn't even get the score. So that's some poor commentating and observing by me. Oh, but this one here has been flicked away by Chiz. Again, probably on any other ground, that is going to be out court. It's only gone 70 metres, but here at North Sydney Oval, it is going to be a 6. Moves on to 23 off of 18. And there is also the 50 partnership between these two as well, coming off 37 deliveries. So that is a decent enough job. You know, it has been quick enough. Simo, he'll feel a bit unlucky there. Just the 1 run off the first 4 balls. He's followed it up with a 6. He's finished with a dot, so still 7 coming from it. Not a terrible over. And at the halfway stage, the bottlers are 1 for 96. This one here has been tossed up. Roscoe has gone. He hasn't got it all the way. He's going to pick up 2. Very rare here at North Sydney Oval to run 2. But that was just a big hoik to the leg side, and the boundaries have dried up a little bit for this bottler's side, and that has seen the run rate drop below 10, I think for possibly the first or second time in the innings. The spinners have got the job done, but then again, as I say that, Big Ross Dog has gone down the ground big time. 79 metres, brings up the 100 for the bottlers, moves him on to 49 as well off of just 30 deliveries, and that is a huge shot if I say so myself. 1 for 104 off of 10.2. This is going to help that run rate, get it up back towards that 10. He's gone down the ground again. He's gone up over the top of mid-off, and that is going to be the 50, the first of the tournament. And you know, what better player, to be fair, than one of the creators, one of the guys who makes this game possible, Ross, grabbing it. 53 not out off of, I think it was 31 deliveries, with 7 4s and 3 6s, and he's gone up over the top of mid-off to get there. So Marcelo, this has been an expensive over for you so far, but you have gone for 12. That one there has been nudged down the ground. Single there, or to be fair, every day of the week, but they've decided against it. Oh, this one here has been whipped away by Chiz. That's a nice shot. Probably the first nice one we've seen from him all day. Whipped away onto the leg side, and it was whipped well. Picks himself up for 27 off of 20, so he started to get that strike rate up just a touch, which will please him, and it will please the bottlers fans as well. This one here has been nudged away into the offside. I thought he might have even bowled himself. Gave the bowler all 3 stumps to aim at, but just couldn't quite get there, and Chiz bailed out in the end to grab himself at just a single. But Ross, you'd have to say that he is the man at the moment. He is the guy that they want to bat through to that 20 over mark. He probably managed to grab himself 100 if he did, just with the way that he is striking the ball at the moment. But 1 for 114 off of 11.3. So this game, I would say, I'm just going to shut up now. I was going to say the game probably is in the bottler's favour, just with those wickets in hand. But Smith has taken another very good catch behind the wicket, and Simo has picked himself up his first wicket of CCL04. It was the ripping leggy by the look of it, took the outside edge, and it was a very sharp catch, it must be said, by Smith. He has been very tidy behind the stumps today. I think there was that one opportunity that there was that edge that went down. That was a very hard chance, but Chiz goes for 28 off of 22. 2 4s, 2 6s, and it brings in Ashraj Singh, the right-handed batsman, on debut. As we've said, everyone here is on debut today. Excuse me, and he's tossed this one up first and foremost, and like every player here today, he has got off the mark with a boundary. That one there just drifting onto the pads from Simo, and Singh has helped himself to a 79 metre 6. So this has been a great over so far by Marcel. It's only gone for the 3 runs so far, and you have to think after that Chiz wicket that the momentum slowly has changed into the West Side Flogs' favour. Just 4 runs coming off that over. 13 overs gone now. The score's 2 for 124. Just the 7 overs left to go. And you have to think that now 210 is probably what the bottlers are aiming for here. Oh, this one here is cut away. Cut handsomely as well. It's going to be 4. Singh's come out. He's playing his shots, which I guess you can do in this situation. You know, there's still 8 wickets left in the bag. 7 overs left to go in the game. Quite an aggressive field here for Simo. Maybe he thinks that possibly an edge or something is coming. Advances down the track. I was going to say it's going to be cut off, but it's not. Poor piece of fielding down there. Didn't quite catch who that was. But that is back-to-back boundaries for Singh. He now moves on to 16 off of just 8 deliveries, striking at 200. This is what the Bottlers needed at this stage, a little cameo, and it looks as though it is going to continue. That is 3 fours on the trot now for Simo. Thank you very much for coming. And this is ruining his figures, because he was looking pretty good before this over here. If he managed to snag himself another wicket and get an economical one in, but that does not seem to be the case. Whoever fielded that, they have just saved 3 runs, and how important that could be in a contest like this on such a small ground. 3 runs could be the difference between winning and losing. 2 balls left to go. Rostock has been starved of the strike just a touch, and he's actually played out a forward defensive to that one, so a bit of respect being showed to Simo. Probably don't want to give him a wicket off of this last ball of his spell. Has been an expensive one, 1 for 46, and that is the way it is going to finish up with 2 dot balls. Simo has done and dusted his first spell of CCL04, 1 for 46, and the Bottlers 2 for 137. Oh, this one here has been slashed away. It's been slashed away hard. I think that may have gone out of the oval, to be fair. I think, no, that is Singh's second 6 that he has picked up. He's moved on to 27 off of just 11 deliveries. Remember, Baker did only go for 1 run in that first over that he did bowl, but it seems as though he's going to be getting taken to here now. Singh is coming in and playing an absolute brilliant cameo here. You can't really ask for too much more from the number 4 from the Bottlers here, especially coming in and taking over from his captain. He's moved on to 31 off of just 12 deliveries. That 100 is probably out of sight now for Ross, unless he can go absolutely bonkers towards the back end. But he'll be quite happy standing down the non-striker's end at the moment, watching Singh absolutely destroy Baker here. He's gone for 14 off of his first 3 balls of his second over. Remember, he did only go for 1 run in that first over, so it is quite crazy the change that we have seen here. It's been nudged down the ground. Surprisingly, it's a dot ball. Oh, but this one here has been whipped away. This one here might be out of the oval as well. Find us another ball. 111 metres. That is the biggest 6 we have seen in this tournament so far, and it doesn't seem like any ground in the world is big enough for Singh the way he is striking them at the moment. 41 off of just 15, and he's going to finish up potentially with another 4 here. No, we've had a major ball glitch there. I have no idea what happened. Think it was just the 1 run. 15 overs gone. Bottlers now 2 for 158. Momentum in this game so far seems to be a little bit like a merry-go-round or a roundabout, whatever you want to call it. It just seems to be going back and forward, back and forward. That's not going to help with the wide, but that is a good take from Smith. Otherwise, that could have potentially have been 5 wides. But a great over. I mean, just the 3 runs coming off the first 3 balls. He's followed it up with 2 dots. And Ross has just really struggled since making that 50. He's been starved of the strike. The Bottlers have got 4 overs left to go. 2 down, and they've got 162 on the board. Oh, this one here has been nudged down the ground. I think that's going to be 50 for Singh. What a great knock he has played here, the number 4 for the Bottlers. 50 coming off just 19 deliveries. 5 fours and 4 sixes. He is lighting it up here at North Sydney Oval for the Bottlers. Still probably on par to get that 210, possibly 215. Whether it will be enough will be very interesting to see. The West Side Flogs do have quite a strong bowling contingent. I think they do have 5 out-and-out bowlers in their lineup. So that is something they can possibly look to exploit with the top order players. Oh, Jesus, that's wide. That could have gone anywhere, to be fair. And at the moment, you'd probably put more money on Singh picking up that 100 before Roscoe, because Ross has just struggled since making that 50 to get some runs. He's unleashed the shackles here, which is positive signs for Bottlers fans, as he has gone, I think that's his first 6 that he's had in quite a wee while. Moves on to 63 off of 45. 2 for 175 is now the score for Bottlers. They are looking to accelerate here, and that is exactly what is happening. Ross Dog just seems to have thought, you know what, I think it's time to start going for it. Time to start getting those runs. Maybe he heard us up here in the commentary box saying that he'd probably get overtaken and wouldn't manage to go and get that 100. Now with 3 overs left to go, and only 30 odd runs to get. Well, it's going to be less than that now because that has been whipped away to the leg side. It's going to be 4. That's an expensive over. 23 coming off it from Baker. And Roscoe moves to 73. So just a 27 required off of these last 3 overs. And you'd have to think that you know, I did say 210, 215. You'd have to think if these two can go for it and possibly get, you know, maybe 50 off of these last 3 overs, which is definitely not out of the question. 235 is going to be a very competitive total, it must be said. Singh picks up another 6. I think that's 6 number 5 for him. He has moved on to 57 off of 21. What a cameo knock he has played, it must be said. That 200 is now very close in sight for the Bottlers with 2 for 91. And Singh is just looking like he is here to tee off. He is on the golf course, you would think. Another 111 metre 6. I think that ties his one that he had earlier on. And the perfect over is still on. The 6-6s, the Herschel Gibbs at the, I think it was a 2011, was it 2011 or 07 World Cup that he hit 6-6s against the Netherlands. Yuvraj Singh did it against Stuart Broad as well. But a dot ball here is not going to allow that to happen. Oh, this one here's cut away. Could be out. Is out. Thank you very much. The fielder chucks it in. No sort of celebration at all, but Singh is gone. Bowled lone again. Caught Jamison for 63 off of 25. 5 4s, 6 6s at a strike rate of 252. And this was very much needed, it must be said, by the Flogs. They have picked up their 3rd. Brings in Jacob Sunderland, I believe the wicket-keeper batsman, or one of the wicket-keepers for this Bottlers side. Ross Dog is still in. 27 runs away from that 100. What a way it would be if he brought it up in this first game of CCL04. That is going to help. 6 runs, 18 coming off the over, but the wicket off at 2. The 200 is now up for the Bottlers as well. They're 3, I believe, for 203 with 2 overs left to go. So 235 possibly out of it. But 220 I think is definitely on. 225 is what the projected total is at the moment. That one there must have taken a wee inside edge, otherwise it was absolute plum LBW. So a dot ball to finish for Baker, and really you couldn't have asked for probably 4 more contrasting overs. The first one went for 1, the last one went for 2, and then in the middle 2 I think he went for about 40 odd. So he has done none for 47 off of his 4 overs. The last over is going to be bowled here by the bloke who just picked up a wicket in that last over, and you'd have to think if the West Side Flogs here could restrict the Bottlers to about 215, 220, considering how they were going, they'll be pretty happy with that. Ross essentially needs boundaries off every ball here to pick himself up that ton that we have been talking about. He's taken a single, so you'd have to think now it is out of the stretch of his hands. But 4 balls left to go, 3 for 207. So the Bottlers probably will be a little bit disappointed with this, considering the start that they did have. That is quite a crazy shot, to be fair, by Sunderland. That has gone almost directly over top of the keeper's head, but it is 4 well-needed runs, it must be said, for the Bottlers. They will take it. Moves them on to that 210 mark. That 6 is going to help as well. That is absolutely huge. It's gone 95 metres. First one for Sunderland in this innings. He moves on to 12 off of 6. 217 on the board now, so 225 still potentially on. You know, 2 4s to finish things off here, finish off proceedings. That is going to be 2 better. That's gone for a 6, so that's 71 metres. Back-to-back 6s now. 3 for 223 is the score that's on. So that 225, they'll probably be quite happy to go and get there. We did say 235. But that was not the case, and a pretty anticlimactic finish, to be fair, as things have finished off on a dot ball. And anyway, it's Twistie coming out to bat with the wicketkeeper, and I believe his Twitch mod Toby Smith. So they are going to be opening up here for the Flogs, needing essentially 11 runs per over from the start. We have seen as Callan Cummins is going to be the opening bowler, the right arm quick. We did see that scoring runs inside that power play was relatively easy for the Bottlers. Will it be the same here for the Flogs? You'd have to think so. Twistie off the mark with 6 runs. Oh, and that is going to help too. That is going to be 6 more to Dino. And he is just taking apart Callan Cummins, who surprisingly for a quick bowler, you know, quick bowlers you normally associate with a guy who's quite tall, you know, well built. This guy is very small, not very well built, but he's still getting the job done. He's getting the ball through quick enough. So Cummins will be looking to come back here in these final 2 balls of his first over. He has gone for 12 so far, but he'll be looking to try and peg this back here if he can. And he's got back-to-back dot balls, so that'll be a win in his column. And here we are. It's going to be captain versus captain. Twistie has actually handed the captaincy over to Smith here. So captain v captain. Chiz coming in first change, and he's going to need a big effort here with the ball, it must be said, in order. Oh, and that is the perfect start. I was going to say he's going to need a big effort with the ball. He did it with the bat, and Walker takes an absolute peach on the 30-yard circle. It must be fair. Smith gone without troubling the scorers. He's gone for a golden. Get some gold into that duck, boys. Take some from the West Side Flogs stripe, and they will take that. The Bottlers are very well needed, it must be said. We did touch on in the Bottlers innings, in the bat innings, we did touch on that they did have 5 out-and-out bowlers, the West Side Flogs. So that does mean that potentially they are a batsman short as well. So if they can get through this top and middle order here, we could see a very interesting chase on our hands. Jamison's got off the mark there with a single. Obviously Dean is still in, and he'll be looking to try and, I guess, do what Rostog did for the Bottlers, and that is bat through. That one there I think is actually snuck underneath the bat of Twistie. So a win there to Chiz. He will take that. 1 for 1 off of 3 overs so far, and he is getting the job done, it must be said. He'll be looking to try and continue on here. That one there slightly uppish, but it's not going to carry to the fielder. Oh, and this one here has been lifted up. It's ruined almost a perfect over from Chiz. It's still not a bad one, to be fair. A wicket and just the 7 coming off it. The Flogs now after 2 overs, 1 for 19. Right, we've got another new bowler coming in, another change. So 3 bowlers used inside the first 3 overs. It's going to be Ian Ashterley, and he's going to start off with a wide. And it doesn't get much better after that, because the first legitimate ball of the over has gone for 4. Jamison's first boundary in this tournament. He's moved on to 5 off of just 2 deliveries. They're going to need a good cameo knock from him. Still 200 required off of 107 deliveries. So slowly that required run rate is getting up towards 2 runs a ball, which on a ground like this won't be too threatening, but with scoreboard pressure on, funny things can happen. Oh, this one here has been helped on its way by Dino. He is looking to play the aggressive role here. He's moved on to 24 off of just 11 deliveries. And you have to think that these runs are going to be crucial. He's going to need these early on in the piece. You know, to do, I guess, what the Bottlers did and really take advantage of those fielding restrictions. And that's what they're going to look to try and do. Not the greatest of first overs here from Esterly, with the 12 runs coming from it. He did have that wide first up, remember, so it is a 7-ball over. He'll be looking to try and finish it off here with a dot. And that is exactly what he has done. So the score after 3, 1 for 31. Oh, this one here has been whipped away. That is going to be Jamison's first maximum of the innings. It's gone 80 metres. It's very much needed for the Flogs. Oh, how has that gone there? Chiz will be a little disappointed. He'll probably have a chuckle on his face, because how the batsman has played that shot, I have absolutely no idea. Finishes his second over. He's gone for 12. The West Side Flogs now 1 for 43 off of 4 overs. Ooh, this one here has been chased. It's a wide one that was outside off. Dean will cash in there, say thank you very much, pick himself up another 4, move on to 28 off of 15. Oh, this one here is cut away by Jamison. That's going to be 4. Ruin. I say ruin, but again, it's only gone for 9. It's under that required run rate, but you know, an over only going for 5 inside the power play would be absolutely brilliant. The Flogs finish up the 5th over, 1 for 52. And the first time that we have seen spin here today for the Bottlers is going to be coming inside the power play. Whether this will work, whether it will backfire, it'll be interesting to see. Hasn't started off well with 4 coming off the first ball. Oh, this one here is cut away. It's going to race to the boundary. It's going to be 4, unlucky there by the fielder. Dean looking in, superb touch here, it must be said. 38 off of just 22 deliveries. And there is a 50 partnership as well for the Flogs, coming off just 29 deliveries. And you'd have to say that at this same stage, the Bottlers were in a very similar situation. They were 1 down, but I think they did have 62 as well. So we are absolutely 100% evenly poised after the batting power play. And we've got another change in the bowling here. Leon Walker coming in outside of the power play, the quick, the right arm fast bowler, and he'll be looking to try and, I guess, just remove people's off pegs. And I think he's started with a wide. Oh, this one here has been punished through the offside, over the top of the covers. Don't know why the Bottlers haven't moved this field back. The fielding restrictions are now over, so you can have, I believe, 5 fielders outside of that 30-yard circle. But Chiz going in for the kill. He's been an aggressive captain, and I guess trying not only to limit runs, but pick up wickets. Oh, this one here has been pulled away well off the front foot. That's going to be 6 to Jamison. He will take that. He's moving along quite nicely. 33 off of, 34. Man, what is going on with my maths? Off of just 18 deliveries. So he is getting the job done at the moment. Playing, well, I guess both of these players are playing in quite a similar fashion. Striking at around the same. Those strike rates are very similar. And they're going to need a partnership here, you'd have to say. Because 150 off of 76 overs. So it's just under 2 runs a ball. Which we did discuss. You know, it's not the end of the world here at North Sydney Oval. It can definitely be done. So this has been a great over, it must be said, so far. That first ball did go for a 6, but it has been followed up with 4 dots. And I've just gone and put the mockers on him, because the last one's gone for a 6 as well. Jamison moves on to 40 off of just 23. The Flogs after 10 are 1 for 80. Oh, this one here has been just Martin Guptill, brutally hit down the ground. He'd stayed down from Dean, and he knew that that was going all the way for a maximum. 86 metres it has gone. He moves on now to 44 off of just 26 deliveries. Milestone alert. 50 runs possibly on here with just the single shot required, but we will wait and see. Oh, that is jagged an absolute mile, and it's going to be a dot ball. This is another great wee over from Walker. He only went for the 6 in the previous one. He's only gone for 6 in this one here. He's surrounded that with 4 dots. And he's going to have to re-bowl that one again, because that is going to be a wide. Really not needed in the situation, to be fair. He was bowling very well, and it hasn't been able to be played. It's just been nudged into the offside to the fielders. I don't want to put the mockers on him, but that very well could happen, and it has. It's gone for 6. That extra ball proving to be very costly, not only to the Bottlers' cause, but to the bowling as well. So Dean, 50 off of just 30 deliveries, only 3 4s, but 6 6s, and he is getting the job done here for his team. And there we just have a quick look at the wagon wheel. Just the 2 singles. All the rest have been in boundaries. After 9, 1 for 93 is the score. Oh, there's been a mix-up. There's been a mix-up with the batters. It's run out. We've had the run-out glitch in full effect here, and the umpire has risen the finger. I'm not sure who it's going to be that's out. It is Dean, the man who just managed to hit himself a 50. He's gone for 31, and you can see he never wanted the run. He stood his ground. Jamison, he's run out his vice-captain. Direct hit from the fielder from the boundary. Don't get me wrong, that is some great fielding, but not even in the frame, because to be fair, he hasn't even left the striker's crease. And that is a much needed wicket for the Bottlers. Things were starting to go quite good here. Damien James coming out, no helmet. So a little bit, a bit brave there. It is only the spinners that are in tandem at the moment. But it is going to be very interesting to see what does happen from here. That will help ease the pain just a touch from Jamieson from running out his vice-captain. He's hit a 6 that has gone 92 metres. It's brought up the 100 for the Flogs as well, off of 9.4 overs. Still requiring 124 off of 62, so still needing exactly 2 runs per over. That one's hit uppishly in the air, but it's going to be a dot ball. And I did say that the spinners were coming in tandem, and we are going to see Wes Spearman for the first time here today in the 11th over, bowling his right-arm offies. And that did seem to have quite a bit of turn, few revs on that one, so that is promising signs. They will be happy about that, the Bottlers. Oh, and that's half a chance. That has gone down by the wicketkeeper. Not too sure who that was. Possibly Jacob Sunderland. With a chance here to get rid of James. He would have been gone for a duck, and that would have seen the score. Oh, who is this bloke? Glenn Maxwell in disguise. Reverse sweep to get off the mark, like so many players here today. He's got off the mark with a boundary. Tidy first over, that one from Spearman. Exactly what the doctor had ordered. Just the 4 runs coming from it. 11 overs done and dusted. The West Side Flogs 2 for 104. Oh, this one here has been pumped down the ground. I think it's got enough timing on it to go all the way. Yes, 75 metres. It has gone for 6. 2 for 111 now. James moves on to 10 off of 7 deliveries. Oh, and he's gone again. This time he's gone high, but he's gone far enough as well. That is back-to-back 6s. Exactly what is needed by the West Side Flogs here. They were starting to get a little bit behind the run rate required. They are now 2 for 117. James has moved on to 16 off of 8, and that dropped chance is now proving to be quite costly, it must be said, as he's nudged that one away on the leg side for a single. Oh, this one here has been played away. That's played away beautifully through the offside, it must be said. Another 4 for Jamieson. That is also going to move him on to 53 deliveries. 53 runs off of 32 deliveries, 4 4s and 5 6s, a strike rate of 165, and he is going to need to keep going here, as we can see down there in the bottom right hand corner. Still 101 required off of 47 deliveries, and that one there, where was the appeal? I don't think that you can actually give a bloke out LBW unless there is an appeal somewhere from one of the fielding sides. But Jamieson is gone for 53 off of 33, and it seems to be the case. Players make 50s and then go and get out. So first wicket of the tournament for Spearman. Jason Green coming out now. Remember, he did open the bowling for the Bottlers and did get taken to quite comfortably, I think. So he'll be looking to get a little bit of his own back, and he started off here with a dot ball. Oh, this one here is pulled away on the leg side off the front foot. Green is going to grab himself his first boundary of the tournament here. He's moved on to 5 off of 4 and 96 off 40. So you have to say this game is very much leaning in the favour of the Bottlers at this stage. But scoring runs on the small ground is very easily done. So you can't count out the West Side Flogs just yet. Oh, that is switched hit. Has it picked out the fielder? You betcha it has. James is gone. That's, I think, the second or third time he's tried to play that little reverse switch hit, whatever you want to call it. Astley with a good catch there out on the boundary. Spearman has been a revelation for this Bottlers side. He's come in, I think he's possibly the all-rounder, but he's 2 for 9 at the moment. Off of just 2.1 overs, and he really has taken the ascendancy in this game and has swung it. You'd have to think when he came on and started to bowl, what a shot that is. Using the pace, it's gone for 6, but as I was saying, he's come in and he has completely changed the concept of the game and the context of the game, I should say, and he's done a very good job. 2 for 15. He has only bowled 2.2 overs, but in those 2.2 overs he has done some amazing things. I think he also accounted for the run out of his bowling as well, so he's done a very good job And the Flogs are only 1 wicket away from going into that very long tail. Oh, this one here has been played somehow to the third man boundary. Gupta gets off the mark. I swear almost every player in this game so far has got off the mark with either a 4 or a 6. He's picked up a maximum. Expensive over this one from Spearman. He has, however, picked up that wicket. It was a big wicket as well of James, who was going along quite nicely. He's still gone for 14, but he's got that wicket. 15 overs gone. The West Side Flogs 4 for 144. Oh, this one here has been worked away. Gupta is working in 6s at the moment. He's moved on to 13 off of just 3 deliveries, and this is exactly what the West Side Flogs need at the moment. We see down there in the bottom right hand corner, 74 needed off of just 29 deliveries. So it's going to take a good ask. It's going to take a hard ask. It's going to take a lot of hard work to get them up to this total. Not 100% sure if they can do it, but we are in for an interesting finish nonetheless. Shots like that there are going to help. That's raced away to the third man boundary. It's not a maximum, but it's still a 4, and they will take it here at this stage, the West Side Flogs. 70 off 27. They are going to need a big cameo here from one of these players, and possibly Gupta is going to be that guy, but oh, you wouldn't believe it, he has played it onto his stumps. He's been bowled by Walker for 17 off of 6. 1-4. 2 6s, and just take a look at the replay. He's gone for the pull. It's hit the pad. It has rolled ever so slowly back onto the stumps. I honestly didn't even think that it was going to hit. It's touched the the base of middle stump, and the bails have been dislodged. So he's back to the pavilion, unfortunately, and that is a huge wicket. Again, in the context of the game, it means that the tail is now exposed to the West Side Flogs, and they're still requiring 70 runs off of 26 deliveries. Oh, and that is an absolute screamer of a catch. I'm not even sure. I think that's the first. Yeah, it is Sunderland. So we did get that right. Walker is on a hat-trick. The Flogs now 6 down for 154, and that's a great take by the keeper. Possibly the catch of the tournament so far. I know we are only 1 game in. And here we go. The hat-trick ball. Last ball of the 16th over as well. You think that there will be some more players in and around the bat, but it's not the case. It's been nudged down the ground. It's going to be a dot ball. 10 coming from it, but 2 wickets. The West Side Flogs now 6 for 154. Ooh, this one here has been tossed up. It's been played over the top, I guess, probably of that man at extra cover. It's going to get another bloke, Lonergan, off the mark with 4. I swear almost every batsman, and I've said this time and time again, has got off the mark with a boundary or a maximum in this game so far. I guess it's what you come to expect when you're playing at such a small ground like North Sydney Oval. Spearman has got 2 balls left to go in his spell, and what a spell it has been. 2 for 28 so far, and he did affect that run out off his bowling as well, so he's done a very decent job. That one there is not going to help the figures though. It's been nudged away onto the leg side for 4. So that is 9 coming off the over so far. 2 for 32, which in the context of the game is still a very good it's a very good spell. If he could pick up another wicket here, he would be absolutely over the moon, as would his captain, but it's going to be a dot. Spearman finishes his spell. 2 for 32. Is that a match-winning performance? Oh, this one here, this is what they need. This is what they need, the West Side Flogs. They need 20 runs, or just over 20 runs and over in these last 3. Green has picked up a maximum off the first one, and 55 off of 17. So, yeah, basically 20 runs and over is what is needed. Which I guess when you think about it in the context, it's just a few boundaries. And if you get them early on in the over, you're in the driver's seat. Oh, this one here is cut away. That is exactly what is needed. Once again, 4 runs, 10 off the over so far at the halfway stage. That is what is needed. A couple more here, and the game's right back in the balance. Oh, this will do. This will do for the West Side Flogs. 4 more. 14 coming off the over. They're doing it tough, but they're getting there very slowly. A 6 here would make things very interesting. It would mean that they get that 20 off the over that they so dearly want, But instead it's just going to be a dot ball. They haven't even taken a run. That's Walker's spell done and dusted as well. He picked up 2 for, so a great effort by him. Oh, this one here has taken the outside edge. It's dissected those 2 men as well on the offside boundary. That was needed. It's only gone 60 metres, but it is a huge 6 in the context of the game. 23.5 runs per over is what is required from these last 2. So they're going to need essentially 24. They've got off to the perfect start there, but Astley has brought it back with a dot ball. Oh, and this one here has been carved away, I guess, through the gully region, slip region. It's gone for 4. It's what needed, but you'd have to say possibly just a little too late. With 4 needed a ball now. I think it might be a little bit more than a 4. I think they might need some 6s as well. So dots at this stage are absolutely crucial. And it's going to be a dot for Astley to finish his spell. Just a 3 overs for him today, but none for 32. Quite important in the context of the game as well. Just 11 runs coming off of that penultimate over. It does mean that Chisman is going to be bowling the last one here, with 36 required for the win. So we need 6 sixes here from the West Side Flogs. So anything less than a 6 here, and the game is going to be essentially done and dusted unless we do get some wides or possibly even a no ball. This one here has been run down to the 3rd man region, and it's gone for 4. But 4s aren't enough at this stage. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, it is 6s that have been required, and now it is going to be essentially some no balls or some wides that are left. So these West Side Flogs players can basically go out, I guess, get a bit of batting practice and express themselves, possibly for a change in the order as we progress through this tournament. But I'm not really too sure if there's much changing that's going to be doing. Possibly Lone again could go up to that number 7 position. Simo did get done by an absolute incredible catch, it must be said, and a dot ball there is like absolute gold from the Chisman. He did pick up, remember, Smith with that first ball of his spell. Very first ball. I think it was the second, yeah, first ball of the second over, sorry, he did manage to pick it up. And that did kind of set the tone. The West Side Flogs probably did have enough in the bank to get them to this total, but they did just lose wickets at key moments and key players as well when partnerships weren't formed. 27 off of 2, so now it is basically a foregone conclusion what is going to happen in this game. It's going to be another dot ball, so Chiz will be happy with this. He has led his side to victory in the first game of CCL04. They will grab themselves the 2 points, the 2 much needed points, it must be said, and it's going to be, might even be a 4 to finish things off. So Green moves on to 32 off of 20 to finish things off. Chiz won't be happy with that, going for a boundary off of the last ball of the innings, but it doesn't matter because it is a win to the Bottlers CC. They're celebrating there by the boundary with their fans by 22 runs in this first game of CCL04. Now hopefully it's going to let me have a quick look at the scorecard, because it didn't do it last time around, or we did only see minimal. So opening up first, the Bottlers, 3 for 223 on the back of that 80 not out from Ross Dog. Singh, very important down there with that little cameo, 63 off of 25, and nothing really to write home about from the West Side Flogs bowlers here today. Wicks, probably the pick of the bowlers, did only bowl 2. Why he didn't bowl more is beyond me, but everyone else going essentially for over 10 runs and over, apart from Marcel, the other off spinner down there. Then bringing it back, and as we can see, there are some ducks in there. There were wickets that were lost at crucial times, and Spearman was very instrumental in this game. The run out of Dean did come off of his bowling, the LBW of Jamison, and then the caught of James on the boundary was very, very good. Green looked okay in his short stay at the crease. So did Gupta. He looked as though he was going to get his side to the victory. But at the end of the day, it was just a mountain too high to climb for the West Side Flogs in this game. Spearman, the pick of the bowlers there, 2 for 32 off of his 4 overs, and the man of the match going to Ross. You can't ask really for much more than that. The guy who helps create the game has picked up the man of the match. Does have the highest score of the tournament as well, and will have I was going to say the best average, but Green did finish not out, as did Alone Again as well. So that is game number 1 of the CCL done and dusted, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in, and I do hope you are excited for this series and the next game, which will be coming, I would say, probably sometime next week, because these are quite long and hard to record and edit. But if you're a Bottlers fan, let me know down below in the comments if you're happy how your performance went. West Side Flogs, plenty of positives to take from this game moving on in the tournament further on. But do hope you've enjoyed this video, guys. If you have, remember to smash that like button, give me a subscribe if you're new. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you again very, very soon.